Good day, everyone. We are going to the part 4 of this, which we are going to look into the Dozile, that one that has to do with a dozen. So the same pattern go for Dozile, which is that one that goes for 10, anything divided by 10. So we may not recall that of the 10 and a score, but let's go for part 4 to be Dozile, then part 5 to be percentile, so that you use the same pattern for the rest that we don't mention. Let's say we want to do anything Dozile. Dozile means dozen. It means dozen, which is equal to 12. Anything divided by 12. So you go for the position. We can pick any one. Let's say 7 Dozile. Let's say 7 Dozile. 7th position is the same thing as n plus a 1 over 12. Then since you are talking of 7, you multiply it by 7. What is our summation here is a 40 plus a 1 divided by 12 multiply by 7. So that's the position. So we can use our calculator to get the answer here. So if you use calculator, you get 23.9 position. I always put TH to indicate that we are talking of the position, and I've explained that you always get your position under cumulative frequency. If you trace it here, 20 is not up to 23, you come under 25th, that's where you can get your 23rd. So this is the position of Dozile 7, D7. Our D or DZ is Dozile 7. So now, with the same pattern of the previous one that I asked you to watch in the previous video, your D7, dozen 7 or Dozile 7 is same thing as a lower class boundary in Dozile 7 plus a summation of frequency over 12 times 7 minus summation of the frequency lower than Dozile 7 all over frequency in Dozile 7 multiplied by class interval. So in this case, in maybe part 2, we've told you how to identify each of them. But if you want to still bring it out, your LD7, so the lower class boundary here is 20.5. Then summation of frequency is 40, which is here. Then you have the summation of frequency lower than Dozile 7 is equal to, you come to this is the position, then 20 is those summation, that's from 6 to 9. If you add them together, you get 20. Then frequency in Dozile 7, so if you trace it, is a 5. FD7 is 5, where your class interval remains 5. So therefore, you can have DZ7 to be equal to what? 20.5 plus summation of frequency remain 40 divided by 12 multiplied by 7, since you are dealing with Dozile 7, minus summation of frequency lower than Dozile 7 is 20 divided by frequency in Dozile 7 is 5. Class interval is also 5, or you put multiply by 5. But this 5 can cross this 5. So you can use calculator to bring the entire result out. So if you compute this with the type of calculator I always recommend for you, which is Casio FX991 ES plus natural display. You can type it direct the way you see it on the board, but just recognize the fraction button. If you this fraction button, this another fraction button. Once you recognize it, you'll be able to put it in the calculator direct. So the whole result will give you 23.8, and if you check it, is under 21 to 25. That's your 23 is under 21 to 25. So that we now check our percentile in part 5.